Okay, let's talk about an action figure that I personally think could be a sleeper pickup, something that could possibly appreciate in value depending on what this person does with her career. It's a basic figure from Mattel, so you know what you're not going to get a lot of articulation and a lot of detail, but it's from a lady that was with WWE for years in the NXT system. And to be quite honest with you, I hadn't followed the WWE product that closely in years, but she was in the main roster sporadically, and that is Aliyah, aka Noof Al Ribi. This is one of the better recent basics that I've seen. I mean, you look at the face scan. My camera isn't doing it justice, but it is spot on with the face scan. I mean, that is her. The hair is great. You see all the texture and everything here in the hair, the top knot going on. Um, and it looks a lot like her as far as shape. I think this may be a new torso, even. The articulation is very basic, and you see here the leg articulation isn't bad. It's a single joint, but it's really hindered by the knee pad. But the reason I think this could really appreciate is it is her first and possibly last WWE figure. A lot of these guys they get fired and they come back around, so who knows? But she hasn't really done anything in wrestling per se. If you look at her Instagram, it's a lot of still athletic ventures, but not really anything in wrestling. I would like to see her make a wrestling comeback. Um, Stardom would be a good place. She's very athletic. I think it's less about the entertainment stuff there, so she could just go and really hone her craft in Stardom. Impact. I watch Impact, so I'd be kind of partial there. But I wouldn't mind seeing her in Impact Wrestling, TNA Impact. Um, you know, AEW. I mean, everybody says AEW. Right now, they have a whole lot of wrestlers that they really don't know what to do with. And I think, unfortunately, with I don't know if she has enough character development or is really a strong enough worker to rise to the top of AEW. I mean, who knows? They've taken a few stars at the beginning of their career and really built them up. When you're talking about Julia Hart and Anna Jay. So AEW could potentially be a good landing spot for her if she could avoid getting lost in the shuffle. But she still loves wrestling. She recently did a wrestling themed DJ gig up in Canada. It was a whole thing with a bunch of wrestling fans, and she was having a blast. So the wrestling is still in Aliyah's, at least it's in her heart still a little bit. And she could make a comeback. Like I said, I would like to see her in Impact Wrestling. But this is a good looking figure from the face scan to the body mold. It looks a lot like her. That's how I judge figures is the likeness. The only thing I don't like about it so much is the lack of detail. Um, they with the paint, there's really no definition of where the paint ends and the body is supposed to begin. The gear is just it's cheaply painted on. If they could use a different texture of paint, maybe a black line or some kind of line around the gear to delineate between the gear and the actual the actual skin tone. I think that would have been great. But they did a better job with the wrist and the arms. With that black coloring right here. I think if they could have put this around maybe here and maybe here, it would have been a lot better figure. But this is right around that $10-11 price point, depending on where you get it. Um, if you're a fan of Aliyah's work in WWE, or Noof Alribi, that's the name she goes by. It's worth the 10 spot if you're a fan. And like I said, it's one of those you can take a chance on, leave it in the box and see what happens. It may be worth something someday, it may be worth nothing. But if you're a fan, it's definitely um, a great basic figure. Um, I don't know what else to say about it. The boots are nice. There's more detail on the boots. You see the lacing here on the boots. You have lacing. You have the colors there, the lightning. I really do hate how they do the knee pads. Um, with a lot of figures, like some of the AEW figures, the knee pad is actually it's a part of the actual plastic, and so you don't have this stiff motion here. You either have to stretch out the knee pad and get it to move, or I you can cut it off, but I wouldn't. Um, but the knee pad really limits things. So this is Mattel. Um, get them while they're available because she's no longer with the company. And yeah, have a good day and keep it tuned in for more action figure and comic book content. My next video will probably be another comic book review, something I have in my collection already. And then I believe Thursday is when I'm going to do the unboxing for Coffee and the Comics. I really love Coffee and the Comic. Jeff, he does a great job. And I'm excited to show you guys, not only what I'm getting in the package, but how it's packed. And yeah, so see you next time.